Hello, my name is Taylor Smith, and this is my informative speech. Living in today's society, it's hard to believe that just less than 50 years ago, there were things such as racial tension, segregation, and no civil rights. When I read stories or learn about the civil rights movement, it's hard for me to believe that people went through such miserable times. Many people, when they hear civil rights movement, think of Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, or Rosa Parks. No one ever knows about the people that played smaller roles, or even roles just as large. Leon Howard Sullivan was one of these people. Leon Sullivan was a civil rights activist that made a difference in equal opportunities for minorities around the world. Sullivan's works and accomplishments have made a huge impact on the world we live in today. Leon Sullivan was born and lived in Charleston, West Virginia. At the age of 12, he had a life-changing experience. He went into a store to buy a Coca-Cola, and when he did, the man came up to him and told him he could not sit there and that he had to leave only because he was black. This made Leon Sullivan realize that he was going to change the world and he was going to create equal opportunity. Leon Sullivan went to college on a football and basketball scholarship. At the age of 18, he became a minister. In 1950, he became a minister at the Zion Baptist Church. At this time, he had already had 3 children and was married to a woman named Grace. He soon became known as the Lion of Zion and served from 1950 to 1988. In this time, his congregation grew from 600 to 6,000, which made it one of the largest congregations in America. People came from all over just to listen to what he had to say. Because he had such a huge impact on people, he used his knowledge and helped create movements to create equal opportunities. There were many jobs around America at this time, but very few offered any to African Americans or other minorities. Knowing this, Sullivan created a movement that would boycott jobs around America until they decided that they were going to let African Americans and other minorities work there. This boycott worked, and they did give African Americans and other minorities equal opportunities. But once this happened, he realized that none of them knew how to do their job. He believed that one of the biggest problems with African Americans not getting jobs had to do with the lack of training or knowledge for the job. Because of this, Zion Investment Associates was started in 1962, which was made to help build ownership, employment, and pride. Leon also founded the Opportunities Industrialization Centers to help train people for some of the basic knowledge needed to obtain a job. In 1981, the International Foundation for Education and Self-Help was founded. This organization is still working today, as well as the Opportunities Industrialization Centers. Leon's beliefs and ideas led him to be a successful leader in the civil rights movement. All of Leon's movements, organizations, and accomplishments made him eligible for awards and honors. In 1971, he became the first African American to obtain a seat on the General Motors Board of Directors. He used his position to launch the international campaign to reform apartheid in South Africa. In addition to holding 50 doctorate degrees for over 50 universities and colleges, Leon Sullivan was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1991 by President George H.W. Bush. Leon Sullivan held more than 15 awards and honors for his leadership skills and inspiration. Today, his foundation is led by his daughters. Today you can still find many of Sullivan's organizations and principles being used in different countries around the world. Sullivan's many organizations have created many openings and jobs around the world and have also been able to help so many people in being trained for newer jobs. In Africa, many of these organizations are still being used to help them find jobs. One man once said, "A man of courage, a servant of the people, and above all, a man of God." Leon H. Sullivan devoted his life to the well-being of others. Leon Sullivan stood up for things society tried to hush him for. He was a great leader and motivator for young African Americans to stand up for what they believed in, and many of his beliefs and principles are still being used today to help these people. He was a great man in society, and he did so much to help.